Welcome back. In this video, we want to demonstrate how to create a battle plan for player 2. It is created the same way as we saw for player 1. Player 2 in this scenario is going to be the attacker, so we want to create a battle plan that facilitates their attack. Since we are already in the battle planner for player 2, the first thing that we need to do is create the battle plan and to give it a name. To do so, select the Add button underneath the Battle Planning tab. You're giving a dialog that allows you to type in the name you want for this battle plan. This one we're going to call Red Battle Plan 1. Select the Proceed button and you're given a dialog that asks you if you want to remove or undeploy all your units, your friendly units off that are on the map, off map. And as I told you the last time, I don't like to do that. I like to leave my units on the map and drag them to their new location. So I'm going to select no. The first force that we want to take care of is the high headquarters. And if you look at the force roster, there's only one unit, and that's the headquarters itself. And it's already highlighted on the map down here. So we're going to drag it to the location where we want the high headquarters to be. And we're going to put the high headquarters up here for now. Now we come down here and we want to create a mission for this headquarters. Select the Add button, type in the mission name. It can be whatever you want it to be. The missions for each unit, the name needs to be unique. We're going to call this Headquarters Location 1. Click on the Proceed button. Remember the pop-up, the icon that appears on the map near, either on or near the units in the force. That's the mission icon, which you need to right-click on. Right-click on, and you're giving a list of missions that you can give them. We're going to give the headquarters a screen mission. Now we are told by this dialog that we can create up to 3 waypoints or reference points for this unit. Since this is a only one unit, we just need 1 waypoint. We're going to come down here and on the buttons here to the right of the mission list, we're going to select the Hide button, which hides the icon that is over the headquarters unit. Select on the hex there where we want the unit to set up, and it creates a waypoint there. And then we hit Commit. And we created our first mission for the headquarters unit. Let's go ahead and we're going to show, we want to show the battle plan mission graphics on the map. Now then, let's go down to the Edit button. We need to check the setup for this mission. We're going to first look at the duration. We want this headquarters to sit here for only an hour. So we're going to type in 60 minutes for the duration. The frontage, we're going to leave it at 1500, and the headquarters can set up anywhere within this 1500 meter radius around that hex. We're going to do the Proceed. We're going to come back to the Edit now, and let's do the SOP. Okay, the preferred standoff for the high headquarters, we want it to stay pretty safe, so we're going to set it at 4. Acceptable losses is going to be minimum. Maximum range, hold until fired on. Relocate whenever receiving any fire. Preferences, concealment. Avoid NBC. For now, apply to this, and this is the only mission we have for this, so apply to mission. And we close it. Now let's create another mission. Let's say after an hour we want the high headquarters to move to Crumbach here. this town right here. So we're going to go and add another mission. We're going to call it Relocate 1. We have our mission icon again. Right click on it. We're going to have it do a hasty move. You can set up the 3 waypoints. So move here, here, then here. To Crumbback, hit the connect button. And now we have the route that the headquarters unit will take. Let's go ahead and set the SOP for this mission. We're going to have it minimal. Again, we want the preferred standoff of 4. Hold until fired on. After receiving, well, since it's moving, we want it to continue to move, so it'll keep moving unless it starts taking losses. I'm going to have it follow the road here. Avoid NBC. Apply the mission. Close it out. Proceed button. Then we need to set up the screen hold at Crumbback. So we come down here, click the add button again, call it headquarters location 2. Now notice that the mission icon appears at the location where the headquarters will be after it makes its move. Right click on it, select screen. Okay, let's hide that icon. Well, let's do this one differently. This time we're going to click on it right here for the waypoint. Hit commit. Now what you can do, you can drag this waypoint back where you want it. That's another way to set the waypoint for a unit for screen or hold. Let's go ahead and set the duration this time. We're going to leave it the same. Frontage, we're going to leave it the same. The SOP, again, we're going it to be minimal. A standoff range of 4. Hold until fired upon. Relocate after receiving any fire, concealment, avoid NBC, apply to mission, and we are now done with our high headquarters and with their mission for this battle plan. We're now going to build the missions for our recon force. And what I've done something unique here with this with my formation for the Soviet forces here, I broke their recon up into 2 separate forces. Let me move this out of the way so we can see the recon. Here are the recon units here. And my first recon force, it's the recon headquarters right here. And these 3 units. That's one force. Second force, which is called Recon 2, are these 3 units right here. This first version of the battle planner does not really give us good tools to work with when it comes to our recon forces. But I've found that if you have a fairly large recon force, that you can split the recon units up into separate forces and then give them their own separate mission. So like I said, in this case I have 2 separate forces. It's easy to do this with recon because recon units can operate independently from their headquarters. In fact, I've set up a scenario where I took a recon force and I broke each recon unit up into their own force so that I could spread the recon units across the front of the attacking formations and then have them move independently across the map. And that works real well. So let's go ahead and come back and we're going to select Recon 1. Now we need to position them on the map where we want them. And what we're going to do is we're going to put Recon 1 down in this area here. I'm just going to move them where I want them. I want it there. Here we go. Sometimes it's hard to get them to go exactly in the hex you want them to sit in. Okay, that's our first recon force there. Let's give them a mission. And we want them to scout ahead. So we're going to call this mission, let's call it Scout 1. Come down to the mission icon, right click on it, and we're going to have it move deliberate. We can give up to 3 waypoints. So I'm going to select one here, and we want them to come up to this location here and hit commit. Then come up here, let's edit the SOP for this mission. We want recon to have their preferred standoff, or their acceptable losses is going to be moderate. We're going to give them a moderate tactical initiative. Their preferred standoff is going to be 2. We are going to allow them to be able to defend themselves, so we're going to give them maximum range, and we want them to relocate after receiving any fire. They're going to be moved by concealment, avoid NBC, want them to disembark 1 range from the enemy. Go ahead now and let's apply the mission. And close. We're not going to give them any more missions. If they reach this point here, the AI will take over and will use the forces, this recon unit at that time here as it sees fit. Now it's time for Recon 2. We're going to set them up where we want them. We're going to set one up here. We'll set a force here. We'll set a force. We'll set this force here. Let's go ahead and add a mission. Scout 1 will be its mission. Remember, if it's a different force, it can have the same name as another one. You just can't have the same name for the missions for the same force. They have to be unique. So hit proceed. Click on the icon mission, and this one we're going to have them move hasty. Then move up here, and we want them to recon all the way up to this ridge line here. Select commit. Come down here and we're going to edit the SOP, a moderate tactical initiative, moderate losses, standoff range of 2, maximum fire, want them to relocate after any fire, concealment, avoid NBC, disembark their passengers 1 hex from the enemy, apply mission, close it, hit the proceed button, and now we're done with our recon force. Now we're going to do one of the maneuver forces. Let me select which one I want here. I forgot what I named them. Here we go. The 1st Battalion Force is this tank battalion here. Let's go ahead and set this battalion up. We're going to start them here on this side of the river. Put them in column along the road. Now we're ready to create their first mission. We're going to call this movement to contact 1. Go ahead and right click on the mission icon. We want it to move deliberate at first. So they're going to move up to this location here. We're going to, as far as we want them to move, so we're going to hit commit. Let's go ahead and edit their SOP for this mission. By the way, if the SOPs are going to be all the same for several missions for a force, you can go ahead and create all your missions, then come back to your first force, create the SOP you want, and then select apply to this and later missions, and it'll set all these missions to the same SOP. Anyway, let's go ahead and set this SOP. We want it to have a pretty high acceptable losses, so we'll say substantial. It's moving the contact, so we're going to leave it with a 1 hex standoff range. Fire discipline, maximum fire. Relocate after taking direct fire loss. I'll tell you what, we're not going to do that. We're going to select never, because we want them to keep moving. We're going to keep them on the road since they're tanks. They move better. Apply mission. Close. Now we've created the first mission. Now we want to create an assault mission for this force. Again, the add button. Assault 1 for the mission. Go ahead and right click, select the assault order. Again, we can place 3 waypoints. 1 here. Then we want to come up on the ridge here. And then we're going to take this town here. Commit. We've now created an assault order. Let's go ahead and take care of our SOP. Tactical initiative, moderate. Acceptable losses, do or die. We want them to take this position. Preferred standoff, 0. Fire discipline, maximum range. Relocate when never. Follow the road, avoid NBC. Apply mission. Close. We've now created an assault mission for this force. Let's say once we get him up here, we want this force to defend this town. Let's add 1 more mission. Add. We're going to say defend. Click on the mission icon. Select hold for the mission we want. And then again, create your waypoints. We can either hide the icon. I like just to click it over to the side, hit commit, and then drag it to where I want the icon. So we're going to drag it here. Let's go ahead now and edit our mission. First thing we're going to do is the frontage. We're going to increase it to a 1,500 meter front. That pretty much takes in the town. Come back now and do the SOP. We want them to hold this town, so we're going to select do or die. For drain standoff, 0. Maximum range for fire discipline. We don't want them to relocate. We want them to stay there. Have them do concealment here. Apply to mission. And we are done with this force. And this is how you would set up your missions for all the forces for this battle plan. I think you see how to do it now, so I'm not going to go through and do all the forces today. There is one more thing I want to show you how to do, and that is how to set up an artillery barrage through the battle planner. So what we're going to do is we're going to come up here and we're going to select artillery. And here in the force roster we see our artillery battalions. And we want an initial artillery barrage when the scenario starts. Our artillery is off map. So let's go ahead and give them a mission. Hit the add button, call it barrage 1. And you can set up several different barrages at the beginning of the scenario, and it'll do them in sequence. Hit proceed. We have the artillery mission icon all the way over to the side of the map, on the side where they are off map at. Select that. Let's come down here and we're going to select barrage for the order. Now it says we can create up to 3 waypoints. And what I want you to understand here is that each waypoint corresponds to one of the batteries. And so let's set up our first artillery barrage right on the objective here. And this first waypoint will correspond to the first battery here in our force roster. Let's set up a second one. We'll set it up in this town. It'll correspond to this second battery. And we'll put the third one right up here, and it'll correspond to this third one. So now you know where the artillery are going to attack. You can only do 3. If you have 4 batteries, the fourth battery will not fire. Let's hit the commit button. And so now we have our 3 locations where the barrage is going in. Let's come down here to the edit button. Now we want to make sure that we have the presets that we want for this barrage. And so we don't want suppression, we want neutralization. We want the ammo to be HE. We could set it to smoke. We could set it, let's say we want non-persistent chemical rounds going in there in these hexes. You select that, and if the batteries have non-persistent chemical rounds, they will fire them instead. If they do not have it, they won't fire. So you got to make sure they have those rounds available. You can select how many rounds and how long you want the attack to last. Go ahead and set HE for neutralization. Hit the proceed button. And we've now set up our artillery barrage. Let's do one more. Let's do the rocket artillery. Again, we have 3 batteries. And so let's go ahead and select our mission. Call it barrage 1. Come over here to our mission icon, right click on it, select barrage. And we're going to select our 3 waypoints. 1, 2, 3 here. Commit. Now let's say I don't like where I set them. You don't have to cancel. What you can do if you want to is you can drag them to whatever location you want, and we're going to do that here. We're going to spread these out here. Is location 1 corresponds to this battery, 2 corresponds to this battery, 3 corresponds to that battery. Right here. Come down here and let's edit our barrage. Okay, our preset. We want to come down here and do a saturation fire. In other words, it's going to attack the hex that we chose and also the surrounding hexes around our location. And so we're going to attack this hex and those hexes around here on each one of these locations. Select proceed. We've now set up our rocket barrage. We're going to end our video now, and I have one more video that I want to do for you to show you the last couple of screens for the scenario editor that allows you to set up your mission and your intel briefings, but also allows you to check the scenario for any errors that you might need to fix before you can play it. So thank you for being with me on this, and I hope this was very helpful to you.